Hey friends, welcome to the Taste Toast Travel Podcast. We're your hosts and resident foodies, Epicureans, and lovers of all things travel and exploration.
I'm John, and I'm a certified somm and a certified specialist of wine, and I've worked in the wine and hospitality industry for over 10 years.
I'm Tara, and I've worked in the wine industry for over 7 years, both in hospitality and digital marketing.
When my wife and I first met, we bonded over our love of eating, drinking, and traveling the world. That passion has only grown over time. Now we want to share this passion with you from an insider perspective. We're only scratching the surface here, and we have a lot more in store that we can't wait to share with you all. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and enjoy the journey with us. Cheers.
Welcome back to Taste Toast Travel. I'm Tara.
And John is here as well.
And I have been looking forward to recapping this show since we finished it, which was probably a little less than a week ago, right? And we've been loving this show. Loved the first, 3 seasons. So no, this is the 4th season, right?
Is it? I can't remember.
I know, I already can't remember. But anyway.
Not enough is the answer.
Not enough. That reminds me of, since I'm rewatching Gossip Girl right now, too.
Oh,
that reminds me of Cyrus.
You just dated yourself.
Whatever. Anyway, so love this show. And we were joking a little bit ago that he was like, how's this like, I don't know, what were you saying? Like, how is this relevant to like tasting, toasting, and traveling? I'm like, hello, food, farming, opening a restaurant, drinks, beverages, things. We would have to travel to get there.
It's in the UK.
Exactly. So we are recapping and kind of just overall talking about Clarkson's Farm season 4. Really excited to get into this. And you especially are a huge Jeremy Clarkson fan.
He's the GOAT.
He's pretty epic. He's gotten himself in a lot of trouble over the years.
Yeah.
From things that he says. But I feel that's what you love about him.
Not deserved trouble. I mean, he did punch a
he
guy,
has
but
said, I was gonna
who
say,
knows what the guy said to him?
Kind of says
You don't just get punched for no reason.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Glossing over that.
So true.
Anyway, but we do love him, love the show. We've been fans of Top Gear and Grand Tour for a long time. We've joked before that you kind of almost low-key forced me to watch that show at first because I was kind of like, car show.
Car's lame. I don't want to watch it. And now it's like her favorite show of all
It's like
time.
literally
So.
we literally watch it before going to bed. We've probably seen the specials. God, I don't know how many times.
Yeah, she literally can't fall asleep without watching it.
I kind of can't. Yeah, you kind of ruined it for me.
Ridiculous.
Well, there are other shows I have approved, but then you like never want to watch those. So I'm like, all right, Grand Tour it is. So anyway, that being said, let's get into Clarkson's Farm. So I actually want to pass it off to you first, being the Jeremy Clarkson fan that you are. What are your overall thoughts on the show this season? You're like, where do I start?
He's like the smartest moron there is, right?
Yeah.
He's just a smart guy, but he
mean,
does moronic things, but like kind of makes it work in the end because like
by the skin of his teeth with a lot of help.
Yeah, of course.
And people cleaning up his messes.
Of course,
Let's
but like
be real.
he's still very smart in what he does. It's just
he goes
into things. He goes into things like, how hard could it be? I'm sure it won't cost this much. I'm sure, and he's just
a little bit
like
ahead in the cloud. He's a lot like me, actually.
And like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll just, start a pub. It'll be fine. We'll just like put some couches in there, and I'm gonna hang a tractor from the roof. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's not fine. Every
Not
time
at
he
all.
does anything, it's just never fine.
Yeah.
It's always like a
Even
calamity.
planting things.
Yeah, and it's just like,
which that was all his fault. We'll get into that, but
and so it comes from an experience of like doing
farming.
Well, yeah, farming.
I mean, he's been doing it for
restauranting, a restaurateur. Like you just, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, they said that in the.
And I'm sure the whole thing is like edited and cut to like, because
Make it look
there's
worse.
people telling him like, this is gonna be really difficult. And there's people telling him like what's gonna happen, like things to expect and all that. But like, of course, they don't really show that.
Well, what's
too
it,
much
Charlie?
In the show. Yeah,
his like right hand guy, kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people telling him like, you're an idiot, don't do this because XYZ.
Yeah.
But he just goes ahead and does it anyway because that's what he does. And
That's
so
Jeremy. Yeah.
He just kind of made a living and made a life.
Kind of just blindly doing things.
Yeah, just like fucking caution to the wind, just like doing whatever he wants, which is great, and it adds humor and it makes a great show.
Yeah, I mean,
And he has the money to back up his shit too.
he does. I mean, not that it's not stressful. I mean, you could see him getting definitely kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ, about like how much things are costing.
Yeah, because I mean,
how
he's
much
like rich, but he's not like mega ultra rich.
Yeah, what was his net worth?
It was like 50 million.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
50 million more than we have.
Yeah, but net worth is different. That's if he liquefied everything he owns. He would
No, I
have
know.
$50
Yeah.
million
So he's not like
whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not like ultra mega rich.
This
I mean,
is
he has
70.
Okay, say 70.
Quick Google.
So I mean, he has like lots of money, but at the same at the same time, like I don't know how much working capital he has, like liquid in the bank. It can't be a crazy amount. He doesn't have $70 million in the bank.
Yeah, no.
So like some of the things he does is like that's expensive.
Yeah. Oh my God, the tractors.
Yeah,
the freaking Lamborghini tractor. Like, sir, did you not learn from how poor the first one was?
Tractor for 80 grand, and it's just terrible.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Caleb's like, "Oh, that's a steal," and then Charlie's like, "Yeah, you overpaid." Like, it's so funny. Just all of it, like even buying the bull, and then Charlie was trying to negotiate, and then he walks in. He was like, "I'll do it for 5,500," and Charlie was like, "I'm still trying to."
Could have had $5 grand.
And then the guy was just like,
But,
"Yeah,
I mean,
unsuccessfully."
At the end of the day, too, like the $500 to him doesn't mean anything.
$5,500.
No, I know, but the difference was a $500 difference.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It's like, oh, we could have had it for 5,000 instead of 55,
Yeah,
whatever,
that's
and I'll
true.
give you the extra 500 if you deliver it. So
yeah,
he does things
He kinda
different. Like
wheeled and
where
dealed.
normal farmers are like penny
every
pinching and they're
yeah.
just poor and they just have to like scrape by. He's not a normal farmer because his main income doesn't come from farming.
Right.
He does it
said
for fun,
quote unquote.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's a this was probably the season I have seen him have the least amount of fun. Seemingly, like opening the restaurant. I mean, you can see in the later episodes,
stressed out for pretty much the entire season.
Oh my God, it was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah,
trying to do, but
the
weather.
My God,
Harvard,
yeah, so I mean, the
weather
farming,
being like the second worst in history or something. They were saying like with the rain. I could not get over that. That was crazy.
One thing about the show that is really cool is that it shows you how, for lack of better words, how terrible it is to be a farmer.
Yeah.
Because
it's
so
ruthless.
difficult and you're just dependent on the weather.
I have so much respect for them after watching
this.
I
mean, if the weather doesn't cooperate,
but
you're just absolutely screwed.
And
there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And that's your livelihood. Yeah. Well, it's like when he was
Some
meeting
people.
with those fellow farmers, right? The guys that were like really did this for their
That's
main
how they
living.
made money.
Oh my God. I was stressed out watching it. And I was not even like, personally involved or invested. Like
yeah, there was one woman that like she didn't even take a salary. She like didn't make any money from farming.
Yeah.
It was just all the money goes to running the farm. And it's like, well, how do you live like that with no money? I don't even know still. They don't answer that. But like she literally doesn't have a salary because she runs her farm, which is a dairy. It's a dairy farm. And
yes, I remember her. She's been on a few seasons, right? And every season, I feel like the poor woman is like,
yeah, you're just screwed. So, yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
It's very humbling.
But at the same time, too, it's like the government is making.
I was gonna say, it seems like they're making it so difficult. Like, there's so many things against them. Like, I can't even recall like half of what's all going on or what the just what it all was, but. Oh my God, like the legislation and then Lord, I mean, anyone who's watched the first season 1, 2, and 3, all the stuff that Jeremy's had to go through, just like getting his own shit opened and getting around the council and all of that. Oh my God. Like it's just red tape after red tape. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. It's,
I don't know.
It's like, I don't understand how anyone is a farmer.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm really curious now, that was a big look into like the UK, but like how it works in America. We should educate ourselves on that or find someone that we can have on that can talk about that.
How farming works?
Yeah. Just
so what you do is you have seeds, you put them in the ground.
Okay.
And you grow stuff and then sell it.
You're hilarious. How it works here in the US in terms of how our government handles those things, if it's any easier farming here, if it's still like you're barely scraping by, like I don't know.
I mean, I guess it depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
Because if you
Well,
farm,
there's a lot of factors, I'm sure. Where you are, what you produce, what you grow, what you sell. Yeah. I mean,
different
just
crops
all the things.
are worth more money.
Yeah.
Different places have better weather than others.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're a farmer in wherever,
Yeah, like up north somewhere,
or
and
in the Midwest
snow and
or
everything.
whatever, and you have to worry about the winter and like
right,
early spring frost or
mm-hmm.
Short seasons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or if you grow certain grains that
with.
like you just don't make a lot of money off of.
Right. Well, that was what's so interesting is you can tell in this show like the ones that are like the money makers, right? Like the barley. There's this other one. I can't remember.
We say
it's like
that we say
code.
the money makers, but they don't
quote
make
unquote money
that
maker. Yeah,
much
I
money.
lose that very.
It's like the money makers is a relative term.
Yeah.
So they make like more money than anything else on the farm, but it's still not very much.
No, it's still
because they have like 80 acres of it, and it's just like it's crazy.
I know, and just how little the yields were, and then
because
like
I guess there's a lot of farmers now, probably more than there used to be. I don't know actually, but like
I was gonna say, where are your facts?
Well,
on that?
because for the prices to be so low for things, you have to have an abundance of stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if no one was making barley,
right,
barley would be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone makes barley apparently, or like any other crop. That's just my thing. There's like the supply versus demand.
Supply and demand. Yeah,
there's a huge demand for stuff, but the supply is super high.
Mm-hmm.
And so I imagine a lot of this product goes to waste because there's so much. Think about all the stuff on shelves in stores that just expire and they never bought.
Yeah.
And they just get thrown away.
Sure. I was gonna say, are you thinking just mostly here in the U.S. or like UK or just kind of wherever? Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to.
Plus, especially in the UK, I imagine you could buy things like import ingredients way cheaper than. Yeah, that's what they were saying in the show. The black pepper.
Gonna say.
Black pepper in the UK, like most people just get black pepper from wherever you get pepper from, and it was like 10 cents a kilo or whatever it was, where they were buying it for like 100 pounds per kilogram because it was grown in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's like
crazy. Well, that was a very, I will say, I'll give him this very noble thing that he's trying to do and have every single thing there.
Yeah, made in Britain.
Coffee, whatever, be made in Britain. Love that for him. Sure. But like, I can't remember what the guy's name was, but it's one of the restaurant, the guys that was helping him with the restaurant. And like, he's like, I think this is, or maybe it was the cook or the chef or whatever. He was just like, this is bringing to light a lot of like the supply issues that clearly Jeremy did not really think about. He had very good intentions, I think, with all of that. But there was clearly some logistical things that were not.
And this place isn't meant. I mean, even though on the show it probably makes it look like he's freaking out about like making money and blah 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 blah. If he sticks with the way he's doing it, it's not a money making place. It's a maybe break even. Hopefully,
it's like a winery.
It's like a break even hopefully place.
Yeah.
And fund itself and that sort of thing.
Well, we'll see. Clear he went over budget, so yeah. I think
you can have like weddings or you could have parties and all kinds.
Well,
of
who
stuff
knows how all that works in the UK? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Well, to take this back to the kind of beginning of the season, I feel like there's someone that we have to mention. Oh, I was gonna have you guess. Harriet.
Oh, Harriet.
And how absolutely amazing she is.
Yeah, she's great.
I love her.
Do you follow her on TikTok?
Such a badass. I don't, but I've watched her. Because I'm not like on TikTok a ton. I'm just on it for the podcast. But I do. Actually, no, I do follow her through our podcast, and I've seen her content. Obviously. Well, what was so funny is like in the first episode that she was in, and she was like filming her TikTok, and like they brought up the fact that she was on TikTok. I was like, obviously, I'm gonna go to this girl's TikTok.
Yeah. It's all just her writing tracks.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I know. But I love her. Her just, I don't say attitude in a bad way. Her like just demeanor and her rapport with Jeremy. We joked from like minutes in watching her that she's like the female version of Caleb.
Yeah.
But like better.
They say kind of like the same stuff and they don't understand a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, kind of. There's just this banter, this back and forth that they have that's just, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's reminiscent of like early Caleb before he freaking went off and did what he did, which we haven't watched his show spin-off thing, whatever that is. I don't know. He kind of, I'm sure he's very helpful around the farm. He has a big role there to play, and he does
He
like a
did
lot of things. But like, man, he rubbed me the wrong way
I
this
don't know if
season
it
a
was
little bit.
stand-up comedy. I don't know what he.
Yeah, I don't.
It was
They
like a
showed like
stand-up, but
glimpses, and
He
I
would
was like, what are you
go to
doing?
like farms all over the UK.
Yes, no, I knew that.
So.
Yeah, and it's fine. But he was on tour doing some other stuff. He has his own show. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's on Prime. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, so I don't know. He just initially when he came back and he was all kind of like territorial about shit. I don't know. I'm just like, dude, you left. Like what? Like you can't just come back and expect. I don't know. But he, yeah, I don't know. What were your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of the same as he was in terms of like his demeanor, but I don't know. He gets sometimes a little bit too
like big for his britches,
yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit. He's like kind of like talks back to Jeremy.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like
in ways that I feel
like in a way, yeah.
Like the one time he was being really rude to him. I can't remember what he said. And you know, Jeremy can dish it too. So I'm not saying Jeremy's like perfect or anything.
Yeah, but I mean, when the person
there were some
he
things,
pays him, so he can say whatever he wants because he pays
well,
you.
like,
yeah, well, I don't know how much he pays him.
I read somewhere. I feel like I can't remember exactly what he made through, but Caleb's fine. And yeah, I'm just like, but even so, just be a little. I don't know. He just was a little disrespectful. And some
like I guess from Caleb's,
and Harriet wasn't. She was just like on her.
From Caleb's point of view, like how frustrating.
But he probably takes a lot of shit.
How frustrating it must be to work for a farmer,
quote unquote,
that doesn't know how to farm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if again, first two, 3 seasons, all three, he's teaching him a lot, you know. And Caleb, there's probably so much behind the scenes. Obviously, we only see what we see. But like that he probably has had to deal with and Jeremy's ideas and lack of knowledge and all of the things. He's probably like, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's super frustrating.
I get it. But, even so, you'd be a little more respectful to your employer. I don't know. Yeah. So but anyway, I warmed up to him again after a little time. But when he initially came back, I was like, okay. But yeah, loved Harriet. Loved that she made a few appearances and came back, and then she was at that auction.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you bidding right now?" And she was just like, I don't know what she was doing. I was like, this is magic.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing, but I want to be you when I grow up. But I just love how she is just like representing female farmers and like, they're trying to get them kind of more into it or, bring some light to that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think she's super cool.
Cool. I'd hang out with her. She seems fun as shit.
Yeah, she seems super funny. Yeah. You know who else kind of bugged me this season?
Gerald.
No, God.
Oh, Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah,
Gerald
Lisa was super.
Gerald can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Lisa was like
she was very annoying.
Weirdly annoying.
Yeah.
She wasn't in it a lot, but like there were multiple times.
She said some really dumb shit.
She said some really dumb shit this season.
The thing with the pig and the nipples and stuff.
Yeah, first of all, Harriet was in that scene and she was like, that's how that works.
That's not
like,
how
and she was so confident. She was just like, no. I'm like, can you trust the girl who's been doing this like a hell of a lot longer? Yeah, because
like the pig had like
it was like
10 babies,
different
or
number of babies to nipple ratio.
Yeah, she
whatever.
had like 10 babies, but only.
And she was saying that there was one nipple per baby, and I was like, what?
Like, no, they all fill up. They don't just like have 8. If you have 8 babies, 8 nipples fill up. That's not how it works.
That doesn't make any. No, and then I think weren't they talking about that with people too, right? Like, okay, right?
Yeah,
I had our daughter. I have 2 boobs. Doesn't mean I had 2
Jeremy
kids.
was like, when you had your child, did only one of your breasts fill up with milk? No.
Yeah, it was like it was such a funny scene. I was like, what is happening? And then I don't know, just other stuff with her perfumes and things, which I'm very curious to.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're beautiful. I feel like there was like something with that. I can't remember the other instances, but there was another one that she also. I was like, where?
Yeah,
she
says it, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, she's so like, no, this is how it is, or like this is like her. She's dead set on her facts and opinions, and I'm like, this is not a fact.
Not a thing.
It is in your world, but. So
that's
strange.
Not how that works.
No, Lisa was, she was kind of wild.
She was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Normally, she's fine, but there's just a few times there I was like,
she seems fun. She's fine. She's fun. She says dumb shit
I do love how she gives Jeremy a lot of shit. Love the fact that she's super Irish and it's just like you fucking idiot. Like,
Egypt, yeah.
I don't know. She's love-hate relationship this season. Um, but yeah, I mean, just the whole man, this season was just like trials and tribulations. I don't know. It's like between the rain and then finding the pub, finding one to even buy. Like how the first one that he showed Lisa was promising, and then you got inside and it was like, holy hell, no.
Yeah, their like permitting is really ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
like,
and
you want to have they want to find a pub that you can have a restaurant and like a butcher shop in and stuff like that. So you have to have it, and it has to be zoned or like permitted. For
yes,
a
how they were
permit.
explaining all that, right? It's like a Class C or Class E. I can't remember.
It's
I'm
just
watching
like
that probably, but
it's very it just doesn't make sense. It's like what? Why?
That
Who cares?
part made a little more sense to me. Honestly, I mean, just with Jeremy being Jeremy, like the parking, right? The traffic, like he had to find a place that was
big enough,
suitable.
Well, yeah, but that makes sense because he's, people will come. If
you
build it,
of course.
Come.
I mean, my God, like if you look at his opening day, and then not being able to freaking feed people. So I mean, just that whole thing. The place they found that, what was it before? Like the windmill or whatever. Yeah. So it worked. I mean, looked like it worked out.
After $2 million, it worked perfect.
Yeah. Or however much. Was it officially 2 million, or
it was like 2 million.
Throw that number out there. Yeah, it was. I don't know what it ended up being, but the work to do all of it. So then him messing up the dates.
Oh yeah.
The start. What was it? The government holiday, whatever they were merging the bank holiday. I'm like, dude, I guess I don't still totally understand why he was so dead set on that. I'm like, could you not?
Well, because he wanted to open it on the bank holiday because it's a 3-day weekend. So he's like, yeah, that's a perfect time to open because people have 3-day weekends.
God, he screwed that up so bad.
Oh yeah,
like all of a sudden
messed up the dates. He was like, oh, it's the 27th and 28th, and it was like, no, actually,
sorry,
it was
everyone.
The week before that. He's like,
yeah.
So he only had a week. He had a week less to get the place ready before it opened, and like this
scrambling. I mean, you could just see, just the stress on everyone. And then the two women that came in, I still don't quite know who they were or are. I have to I don't know, are they restaurateurs as well?
Yeah, they I think they had they opened like restaurants. That was like their thing. They got someone's opening a restaurant. And they get hired to basically.
We need to check this for sure.
They get hired. Exactly yeah, this is what they are. They get hired, to open the place. So furniture.
Yeah, they were doing
kitchen,
all that logistic stuff.
Decor, getting everything ready to go.
Delivered, whatever. The umbrellas, Jesus Lord, those umbrellas. And then the thing that he brought, the tent thing that he brought in, that he ended up having to take out because it was crazy.
Made it dark.
Just one thing after another. Oh my God. Yeah.
To be fair, the umbrellas were $40,000, and that's
insane.
Atrocious.
I wonder if the umbrellas he ended up going with were the $40,000 ones, or if they were cheaper. I don't think so either. They were just regular patio, which they were fine. Absolutely fine.
Even if they were $20,000, you still saved $20,000.
Right.
Which they weren't $20,000.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't think so either. But yeah, I thought it was so interesting. So opening day comes and goes, and so I think those women were there for that day, maybe the second, and then all of a sudden cut to this scene. Him and I think Charlie are up in their little office thing that's losing power every so often, and they're talking, and he's like, yep, so those ladies are gone.
Yeah, they quit.
Never says what happened, but kind of based on his demeanor, I feel like they quit. They did something.
Yeah, they really annoyed me.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of bugged me too. But you know what? I think Jeremy was probably making their life very, very hard.
No question.
I mean,
no question. But they were still whatever. I did not like them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was that one scene where, so it was after the first day, I think, right? And then so the kitchen, everyone had just had a really rough first day. But I guess the kitchen especially, and you see Jeremy going through and apologizing to everyone basically.
Yeah.
And then he's with these two women later on, and he was yeah, I said something, I went through, and then she was go back.
Yeah.
go back.
Go back again.
I would go back. I'm
Go
like,
back again.
Jesus. Okay,
It's like,
first
oh,
of all,
I already said, you know, I already apologized and I already thanked
Yeah,
everyone.
like,
Go
kinda
back
like
again. No, but
he's
I
just like, okay,
already.
do you want me to do that,
He's
or do
like,
you want me to do this?
go back again.
Or the
Like,
5 other things that you asked me
oh
to
my
do.
God.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure they were also up to
super
their,
disrespectful.
yeah.
But yeah, I understand. But like,
I think they just had to be kind of like, a little snappy with him on some of these things. But again, we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. But yeah, that first day looked so rough. And then what are they saying? They were just like, we lost a dishwasher, we lost 2 of the like waiters
Servers or
or
whatever,
servers or
yeah.
whatever. He
Yeah.
was just like, they quit first day. They were like, yeah, they were all, it was not a good environment. Like people were really stressed out. And I felt bad because I can't remember if it was Charlie or whoever said it, but they were just like, it's tough. Like people love you. These people, they really like you. They want to still love you, whatever. But like, it was like really bad. So yeah, just a lot of things that they didn't work through. The portion control when they were doing
they
that
run
like
out of food.
more buffet like thing.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they were like running out of food. So that's where we were getting back to like the whole like supply chain thing later on. That's why I feel like I was like, there was something more than just the meat with that. Cause I was like, I swear there was something else that they
just ran out of food because they were giving the
Yeah,
portions were too
it's
big.
not good.
ran
And then
out of
something
food.
happened with the beer thing. I was like, oh my God, just one thing after another.
Yeah.
Going wrong. But positive things about this episode, it was so fun to see Hammond
Oh yeah.
for like 10 minutes. I did not know he had his own like car fixing.
He's the richest
thing.
one of all of them.
No.
Yep.
I looked that up when I looked up Jeremy. No, I don't think that's correct.
I'm
Googling that now. How do you figure that?
Because I read it
Oh.
on the internet, which there's only truths on the internet.
Yeah. Now I don't have dates on this, but it's saying 45 million is his net worth. That was December 2024. So then Jeremy, let me see if I can just quickly. No, I think it makes a lot more sense that Jeremy has a higher net worth.
Huh.
Yeah, this is 55 million pounds. Again, date wise, I don't know what, but anyway, yeah, that makes a lot more sense to me. But anyway, didn't know he had like a garage type thing where he
restores
things. Yeah. So the chromed out tractor
that's pretty cool
that they got done was cool. And it was just like fun to see him. And also, almost forgot, Richard Ham.
Oh yeah, the little piggy. The little runt.
Oh my God, he's so cute. I'm like, just bring him inside and like make him a pet.
Yeah, the runt of the litter. He never got too big. Yeah.
He's so cute. Oh my God, the fact that they named him Richard Ham, I can't even handle it. The pigs this season were like, I mean, thankfully there was not as much like death as previous seasons.
Pigs.
But it's crazy. They were saying that like it started happening again.
Yeah,
no, I know. I wonder if they got some like.
She had like 12 piglets and like 8 of them died.
These freaking pig moms, man.
They
like,
just sit on them.
Suffocate them. It's awful. Which like I guess that ring thing that he created like I think kind of worked, but yeah, still happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad they didn't show as much. That was very. I still have like PTSD. I can't remember if that was season 2 or 3, but I was like upset with
the little
that.
piggies.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me that season. I was not happy seeing that. But yeah, the boy pigs being like so aggressive with him and everything. Yeah, they're wild. But anyway, anything else that we're
I mean,
missing?
Moral of the story is don't be a farmer and don't open a bar or restaurant. Pub.
While harvest is also happening.
Just don't do any of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we have to have farmers. Like.
Just don't be one of them.
Oh my God. Okay, that's not the moral of the story, but yeah, I mean, it's a very funny and entertaining show, but it is very educational for me, at least, as well. Just understanding like I don't know, just what goes into farming and just, I don't know. It's interesting. The timing, just also watching Jeremy operate machinery just makes me laugh. Just between like his not going straight on them trying to figure out that satellite thing. Like, there's just so many moments of this season. Oh, like when they started going really fast down the in the field because he had like set his cruise control.
The cruise control was like 33 miles an hour.
I was like, oh my God, what is
plowing
happening?
at 8.
It's just one thing after another with that man. That's why he makes good TV. It just is. Like,
Yeah, he's
he's
very
gold, and he like barely has to try to
he
be
doesn't try. That's the funny part.
calamitous.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
It just happens, and
It
it's
just
just like
happens.
the camera's rolling, and he does dumb shit, and it's just
Yeah.
like perfect.
This is just his life.
This is awesome.
Like I said, he is a
The director's
visionary.
like,
I think he has good
"Yes."
ideas. It's his execution, it's the follow through. Like, he just has like the number of times where we've either seen him or literally heard him say like to Charlie or whoever, like, I can't be bothered, like take care of it, or like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of someone else figured this out, or like I'll just kind of do it as I go.
Right.
I think he's realizing like that's not gonna work in farming.
Not in the
Certainly
long
not
run.
restaurant touring.
Yeah.
In this case. Yeah. Wild times. Anyway, if you guys watch that show, let us know. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on any of the above or anything that we missed, which I feel like we missed some things. But to switch gears and start wrapping this episode up, we're going to do something a little different that we've never done before. So have a fun little game
Perfect.
that we're going to be playing. Hopefully you're prepared. I don't know if you prepped things much ahead of time for this, but we're going to be playing a fun little game called, well, tentatively called at least, Keep, Swap, or Trash. So it's kind of like Fuck, Marry, Kill, but like food,
with other stuff.
drink, and travel version.
You can't. Well, I guess you could.
Where they're talking to yourself. So basically what's going to go down is one person, so I'll start, gives you, the other person, 3 items. So this could be a type of food, beverage, something related to travel, whatever. And you have to assign it to a particular category. Keep it, swap it for something else, which I don't really know if I have backup. So we'll see how that goes. And then trash it. That means it's gone forever. You can never have it again.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. So my first one, this is for cocktails.
Okay.
All right. Mai Tai. Pliny the Elder.
Oh.
Yeah, a little curveball there. Or Negroni. I feel like I know the answers to these, actually.
Yeah.
But I want to hear it from you. Oh, you are putting more thought into this than I thought you were going to.
Yeah.
I actually thought this was going to be a little clearer of a decision.
No, it's tough because I like both Negroni. I like all 3.
I know, that's a point. I wanted to.
So I guess I'll say I'll trash the Pliny.
Okay. I had a feeling.
Yeah, trash the Pliny.
Okay.
Then keep a Negroni.
Yeah.
And swap a Mai Tai.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
Would you swap a Mai Tai for? I'm trying to think of something.
I mean, I like a Mai Tai. I want to keep it, but like, I want to keep a Negroni more.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
What if you had to swap a Mai Tai for an Aperol Spritz?
No.
My favorite. Just no.
Just no.
You know what my 3 would be then?
Probably like maybe like an old fashioned or something like that.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
Some whiskey drink.
Okay. Do you have one for me?
Yeah. Keep, swap, or trash. Gin, tequila.
Ooh.
Or excuse me, not tequila. Gin, mezcal, and I guess vodka.
Oh, trash vodka in a heartbeat. Ew.
Goes in a lot of drinks.
No, I don't need it.
Okay.
You know why? Because and basically every restaurant I go to, I asked to swap it out for gin.
Oh, okay.
Even if it's like a vodka-based drink.
Okay, well.
I just don't have a lot of vodka-based drinks.
So
either.
then are you going to keep gin or are you going to
keep God, that's mean.
Mezcal.
Oh, that's so mean. No, I'll keep gin because that's like the base in so many of my favorite drinks. I have to, my aviation, my Army Navy, I have to. So sadly, I would have to swap mezcal, but that bums me out.
Well, you could swap mezcal for tequila, I suppose.
I know. Oh, it's not the same. I mean, it's still good though. All right, I would swap it for tequila. But I love my mezcal. Okay. All right, next one. Moving on. So this is breakfast items.
Ooh.
Okay. So number 1, eggs Benny.
Okay.
Good old eggs Benedict.
Great.
Number 2, pancakes and bacon.
Pancakes and bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3, breakfast sandwich. we could elaborate on what would be on that breakfast sandwich. Make it a little more difficult for you.
No, I know what would be on it.
What are you envisioning? Like
I know.
eggs, sausage,
bacon, cheese.
Yeah.
On a nice like
brioche or something.
Gosh,
like
yeah.
with an aioli.
So eggs Benedict,
Mhm.
pancakes, and bacon.
Yes.
and
I
a
knew I had to
breakfast
throw that in there because I know how much
sandwich.
you love bacon.
What would I keep? I'd probably keep
Yeah, I
pancakes
stumped
and
you.
bacon. I
Yeah,
would keep.
I had a feeling you would. I know how much you love pancakes.
I would trash.
This is a fun game.
I'd trash the eggs Benedict
Really?
and probably swap the sandwich.
Okay. What would you swap the sandwich for?
Probably something like a
No, you know what would be
huevos rancheros.
a more fun way though is if I had to assign you the swap.
Oh,
That's the risk. So, okay, is that your final answer?
Okay. Yeah.
Swapping fruit plate.
Oh, that's not terrible, but
For me, that's horrific.
I know because you don't like fruit.
Same.
She doesn't like fruit. But yeah, I mean, could be worse.
know,
But
right?
yeah,
Mhm.
that's tough. I do like all three of those things.
I know
very
you do.
much. Yeah.
I was very strategic.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Would you rather have
Food version.
Yeah. Tacos,
Okay.
pizza,
For
pizza,
anyone who's not watching the video version of this, your facial expressions are killing
tacos,
me.
pizza,
Okay.
or Indian food.
It's
a good one.
Okay. Oh. Wow. Okay. Got to keep pizza. I have
Gotta
to keep
keep
pizza. I have to
pizza.
keep
All right.
pizza.
All right.
I mean,
Fair.
the inner, not
Fair.
Italian in me, has to keep pizza. You know, I might say something kind of controversial here.
Okay.
I really like Indian food.
Yeah. It's delicious.
So I might have to.
You're gonna trash tacos?
I don't
It's
know.
one of the most perfect foods.
I know.
Whoa.
What's on the taco?
Whatever you want.
Oh, God, you're killing me.
Whatever you want.
Okay, now you're making me second guess myself.
No.
Okay. Okay, no. I'll swap the tacos. Get rid of the Indian food.
Okay, so you swap the tacos for a deli sandwich.
Okay, that's not a horrible trade. You know I like deli sandwiches. Although I don't really eat them much anymore because I'm trying to be healthy and cute.
Uh-huh.
Bread does not help with that.
Uh-huh.
But not the pizza one.
So yeah, pizza it is. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Ooh, that was a good one because you
Yeah.
know I like Indian food. You're getting my
Yeah.
Achilles heels here. Okay. All right. Last one. This is more travel related.
Okay.
You ready? Okay. Priority boarding,
Ooh.
TSA pre-check,
Oh.
or exit row seat for more legroom.
So I would
So basically, you can board the plane first.
honestly,
get
yeah.
through security faster,
I got it.
or get more legroom.
I
I know which one
would-
I would do.
I would keep the pre-check.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would trash priority boarding.
Yep.
And I would swap the legroom.
I have a swap for you.
Okay.
What if you just swapped it for the mistake that I made on our flight to Italy with the seat in front of the bathroom where it doesn't recline.
Oh,
That's what you
yeah.
just gave up there.
Yeah, that's not
I hope you're happy with that trade.
not ideal. Not ideal.
You know what I would do
What?
out of those three? 100% exit row with the legroom.
Interesting.
I like you know why?
I'm a small person. I don't need a lot of legroom. It doesn't bother
I don't
me.
either.
Doesn't
Listen,
bother me.
I'm literally almost cross-legged right now. I don't need a lot
Yeah,
either.
It doesn't bother me.
I like the option. And now that we have a child, but not that we're allowed in the exit row anymore because we're not allowed to be in one with a child, but I just like having a little more space. Although you can't have your carry-on stuff in front of you, can you? That probably has to be
you
up
cannot.
in the
You have to put it up in the
thing.
overheads so you won't have
That's
your
interesting.
stuff.
Whatever. I've dealt with that before.
Huh.
I don't know. I am not a person. It's so funny. You're going to laugh at me. I was listening to Pod Meets World today. So for anyone who doesn't know, that's a podcast with 3 members of the cast of Boy Meets World. They're doing their recap podcast. I love it. It's great. And they were like doing kind of like pre-talking before recapping their episode today, and they were talking about traveling with each other, and they were mentioning that Ryder Strong, who played Sean Hunter, does not. He's much like my mom was. They do not need to be the first person aboard. And I actually, now that we have a child, it is nice to like board first, get all settled, whatever.
Yeah.
But I am kind of in agreement with him. I don't feel the need to be like first to board unless, and this is what he was saying, unless you have a carry-on that you need to put up above you. And then you like lose your carry-on space if you don't get on first. That kind of makes sense to me. But otherwise, if I don't have like a huge carry-on or it's like just a backpack that's going to go under me anyway, why like rush to wait and sit for even longer than you're already going to be sitting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to keep stretching my leg. We're all going to the same place.
Yeah.
That's
you're
what's
gonna
so
get
funny.
on the plane.
We had a very
Everyone is always like, oh,
like assertive. I was about to say aggressive. That's a strong word. We had a very assertive lady on the way back from Hawaii. Do you remember her? And she was like, I'm in group 2. Is there... And like all of us parents are all like waiting to board, and like she was so frantic about getting on the plane. I was like, what is your rush? We're all going to the same place. They're not going to get on without you.
You're going to get on the plane.
You're here and accounted for. You're going to get on.
You're going to get on.
No one's going to take your seat. You're
stuck
okay.
there for 4 hours with everyone.
It's just like, oh my God, relax. Anyway. Yeah, but I can see why you'd want the TSA pre-check. It's nice. We don't have a ton of issues with security. There's been a few times where I've been, caught, and it's been kind of
nice.
It is nice to have, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. We should really do that. I don't know why we don't have that. We've been talking about that for years. All right, anyway, do you have a travel one for me?
I do.
Be it country, city, whatever. Okay.
So the 3 options for you are a lifetime access to any lounge at the airport. No matter where you're at, you have access to a lounge.
Okay.
Or
so far I like
free checked bags for 10 years.
Okay.
Or you can skip security 5 times.
Oh, trash that. Who cares? I don't care. That's so funny. I don't mind security.
You can literally just get to the airport 30 minutes before your flight and jump on.
Sure.
So you have a 2:00 flight. You get there at 1:30 and just hop on the plane.
I mean, that's nice. But
That's
only
like
5 times.
That's
I could live without that.
I mean,
if it was like 100 times, yeah, we might be.
That's gold.
Might be talking.
You don't have to use them all sequentially. You can use them throughout your life.
Yeah, 5's not enough.
All right.
5's not enough for me.
All right.
Not enough to keep it. Keep versus swap. So any lounge or what was the other one?
Check bags for 10 years. Free.
I do have to pay.
You do pack a lot of shit.
You do pack a lot of shit. I don't know. It's so tough because if you really want to enjoy those lounges, you have to get there in time enough to enjoy the lounges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you're going through security, you're not going to have lounge time.
Exactly. You know what's so funny? When you said that, I did think about that. Okay, you know what? Final answer. I will keep the checked bags, free checked bags for 10 years because that'll save me money. Let's be real. And swap. I'll take my risk and swap the lounges. As nice as that would be, and as much as I would love to be a lounge girly, I can let it go. Because I like to get there. I kind of like to walk around anyway. I like to get my coffee. Like, you know how I am. I don't necessarily need to sit and lounge.
Yeah. So
I'll have it if it's there, though.
You swapped which one?
The lounge.
So you swapped the lounge for offering up yourself for extended searches of your bags for your next 10 flights.
What the hell? That's so annoying.
So you just verbally agreed to them rummaging through your bags for the next 10 flights. So you're going to have a little bit of extra time in security. It's fine, though.
Yeah, you're killing me with the security. You just want to screw me over in security.
I hate security.
I can tell.
I hate it.
Security. God, that's funny. Yeah, okay. Well, that would be obnoxious as hell. Yeah, I would not be happy about that.
Well, you chose that, so whatever.
Yeah, that's not a great swap, but I'll still take the money of having not have to worry about checked bags.
Yeah, just like having the peace of mind.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't even care. Just here's my bag.
Because it's literally like $40 a freaking bag now on most airlines. Now Southwest is charging for bags.
Unless you
It's
fly
crazy.
business or first, you get all your bags checked.
Yeah, well, I know. I was almost thinking about putting that in one of mine somewhere, but I'm like, oh, that's an
that would have
easy
been
one.
immediately a key.
I know. That's like, that
Immediate.
was too easy for
It
both
could
of
have been
us. We
like,
would've
would
said
you rather
first or
like?
business.
I would have like
I
taken
would have done anything for
that and like stepped in shit on the way to the airport every time. I don't care. I'll step in shit every time I go to the airport if I get first class.
I don't think you'd be allowed in first class if you did that.
Don't care. I would. That's easy.
Get new shoes at the airport in your lounge. There you go.
They give you slippers when you get in first class, so
That's true.
just wear my fucking slippers.
Oh my god, that's a perfect way to end this episode. I love that. That's so true. Okay, maybe I do want that lounge because now I want first class. I want the slippers. Oh my god. Anyway, well, that's a fun game. We're gonna do a little bit more of that in the podcast. Some versions and iterations of those. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us in this one. Like I said, if you guys watch Clarkson's Farm or even Top Gear or Grand Tour, because that's relevant.
If you don't,
to
you
traveling.
should watch them and give it a shot. They're amazing.
They're great shows.
They're hilarious.
Great shows, super funny. Those three just have such a great
just Google like
chemistry.
Either Top Gear specials or Grand Tour specials and watch the specials, and you'll just be like,
the specials are really the best.
This is amazing.
Parts, yeah. It feeds into my adventurous.
They're just
exploration side.
Yeah.
You know, really quick, another one that we should maybe talk about on this podcast at some point once we finish it is Long Way Home. Yeah. Yep, great. Other great shows to watch. Okay, we're getting off topic now. But yeah, anyway, we have more shows to recap, clearly. But like I said, thank you guys for hanging out with us. This was a fun one. And we'll see you in next week's episode.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us and tuning into the Taste Toast Travel Podcast. We really appreciate you being here and hope you're enjoying these honest conversations about all things sipping, savoring, and seeing the world. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, we would truly appreciate a rating or review on whatever platform you're tuning in on, so fellow foodies, Epicureans, and travel enthusiasts can enjoy this content too. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a follow at Taste Toast Travel. We'll see you in the next episode.